In the last video, we have talked about the if-else statement, and the if-else statement is used where we have only the two choices, that if the condition becomes true, then what we have to do, and if the condition becomes false, then what we have to do. But the if-else if statement is used where we have more than two choices, that for every condition we have to check that whether we have to process the statement or not. So if the condition becomes true, then this block will be processed, and if the condition becomes false, then again we have to check the another conditions. Like this is the another condition, and if this condition is satisfied, then this statement will be processed. And again, if the second condition becomes false, then again we have to go to the next condition, and here the third condition is checked. And if the third condition becomes true, then this statement will be processed, and so on. So let's see with one example that how we will solve the problem. So suppose we have such type of problem that if the marks obtained by the student is greater than 600, assuming that the full marks is 1000, right? So if the marks is greater than equals to 600, then the grade will be A. And if the marks is greater than equals to 400 but less than 600, then grade will be B. And if the marks is greater than or equals to 200 but less than 400, then the grade will be C. And if the marks is less than 200, then grade will be D. Right? This is the problem we have to solve. So let's see how we will solve the problem. So here we have to input the marks from the keyboard first. So how we'll take the marks from keyboard? So marks is equals to, let's take the integer value and input from keyboard. So enter marks, right? And the first condition we have to check is if the marks is greater than or equals to 600. So write down the marks is greater than or equals to 600. Then we have to print the grade is A. So write down the grade. So grade is A. And if it is not satisfied, then we have to jump to the else part. And in the else part again we have to check the another condition, right? So here the another condition is that if marks is greater than equals to 400 and marks is less than 600, then the grade will be B. So grade is B, right? And if it is again false, that this condition will not be satisfied, then again it will jump to the else part, and in the else part again we have the another condition. So in this condition we have to write down that marks is greater than or equals to 200 and marks is less than 400. Then we have to print here that grade is C. And if again that if it is not satisfied, then simply we have to print here that grade is D. So grade is D. So for that we don't have to write the condition, because if the first condition becomes fail, then it will check the second condition, and the second condition becomes false, then it will check the third condition, and if the third condition becomes fail, then obviously it will print the grade D. So if all the above condition becomes false, then the last statement will be processed. So execute it and check. First we have to write greater than 600. So I am writing here 650. So it will print grade A. Okay. And if again we have to execute and write down the value like 450, then it will print grade B. And if I will write here the greater than 200 but less than 400 like 330, then it will print grade C. And if I will write here less than 200 like 180, then it will print grade D. Right. So if we have more than two conditions, then at that time we will use here the if else if statement, right? But it is looking messy, that how we can reduce it and make it simple. So another syntax is also given in the Python, that in place of the if else if, we can use here the if elif. Okay, so let's see the if elif statement, and here is the simple syntax for if elif, and this is also used to check the multiple conditions. That first it will check the first condition, and if the condition becomes true, then this block will be processed, and if the condition becomes false, then it will check the second condition, and if this condition becomes true, then this block will be processed, and again if this condition becomes false, then it will check the third condition, and so on. Here we have just merged the else and if together. Okay, so else and if together is pronounced as elif, right? So we don't have to write here the else and if again. So else and if is merged together and form the elif. So here we have written the elif and condition, then again elif condition, right? So it's look very simple and easy. Now try to solve the same problem with the help of the if elif. So here we have taken the input from the keyboard, that what is the marks, and if the marks is greater than or equals to 600, then grade will be A, else if, and again the second condition. So the second condition is the marks is greater than equals to 400 and the marks is less than 600. So if it is satisfied, then we have to print that grade is B. And if again it becomes false, then we have to write here the elif and check the next condition, like marks is greater than equals to 200 and marks is less than 400. And if it is satisfied, then we have to print here that grade is C. And again it is false, then at last we have to write only the else, because if none of the condition is satisfied, then automatically the last statement will be processed. So here is the grade is D, right? Now execute the program, and here it is waiting for the marks. So if I will write here the 200, then the grade is C, and if we will enter the marks as 560, then the grade is B, because it is greater than 400 and less than 600, right? So you can just have to enter the values for the different condition and check whether the all condition has been satisfied or not, right? So if you like this video, then please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the latest update. Thank you.